Hi, everybody. I'm here with Kurt Bridge, and we're going to be talking recruiter enablement. So, Kurt, I think you're coming from Singapore, maybe?
Singapore
Give us a
today, yeah, indeed.
lovely from France to Singapore. This is the most internet. Oh no, we've done a few where I've been in France and I've had other people from other countries, but we're across quite a lot of time zones here, so this feels good. Give us a bit about you and your background.
Certainly. Hey, and thanks, Adam. And yeah, thanks for having us on your show. Listened to some of your previous shows, so great subject matter. Some great people on. So yeah, my name's Kurt Bridge. As Adam said, I'm based in Singapore. As you can probably tell by my accent, originally from the UK. I'm a northerner, so not as north as yourself, Adam, but north in respect to England. So yeah, Liverpool, Manchester area. Spent 20 years in Australia, and now the last 4 years in Singapore. So my background, pretty much just leading and building in-house recruitment teams across the APAC region. So most recently I was at Red Hat, where I worked with the wonderful Holland McHugh, who was on your show recently, and then Dell, EMC, Cisco. So leading, building, making teams effective across the APAC region. Recently, I've took a leap of faith. So myself and a good friend of mine, Christian Leloup, started a consulting business called Macramé Consulting. So I guess bringing our expertise, Christian, his background, he's the ex-head of Microsoft TA, he was previously at Apple. So bringing some of our big tech knowledge and expertise to companies. So two main areas where we focus in on. We have a TA consulting practice, where we focus on, I guess, optimizing design, making your team more effective. So use cases could be startup scale outs in APAC who are looking to retain our services to more as a talent as a service model. So we're trying to bring some of it in-house, so helping them with that. And then obviously you've got your big MMCs, so it's more complex, what we're trying to do, how we manage to make them teams more effective and driving and building capability for them. So that's one area. The second is executive search. So coming from being in the industry so long, and myself and Christian, we're building a search business, predominantly focused on tech. But we'll do things like deconstructing searches. So if you don't want to do the full end-to-end exec search, we can do deconstructed, so market mapping, succession planning, addressable markets, all that type of good stuff. So it's cool. We're loving it. Great conversations out from behind the desk, doing all the BD stuff. So it's pretty cool. Yeah, loving it.
Yeah, great. Okay, let's talk recruiter enablement. What's that to you?
So it's a really interesting topic, isn't it? And I know you've had lots of people on your show talking about it. Look, to me, it's how do you empower and drive recruiters to be excellent at their jobs? Yeah. So how do you create superstar recruiters? And I think this has evolved over the years. Certainly as a TA function has gone more up the value chain, but I think if you look at it, and I'd call it TA 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, but if you look at TA 1.0, I think where you've got here is your rudimentary skills, but really essential skills. How do you, and probably should be covered at the onboarding stage. So simple things. How do you use the ATS? How do you move candidates through the stages? How do you understand your company? How do you comp and ben and things like that? And these are basic foundational skills. And no hiring manager is going to come to you as a TA leader and go, hey, Karen's amazing at moving people through the ATS system, but your analytics team will. But I think these are key skills you need to have in the foundations. I'd then say you go into TA 2.0, so you're going up the value chain here. You're being more productive in your role. So things like talent pooling, CRM, tagging. How do you find candidates better? I think things like advanced search skills. How do you if you as a recruiter, we're very reactive. We're always going out, hey, we get a job, let's go out and find some candidates and drive employee referrals and do some searches. But there's thousands of candidates, especially in big companies, sit within ATS, CRMs who are warm candidates. they want to work for you, you know. So how do you
Yeah.
do advanced search skills within those? I think it's key. You know, things like identifying and, you know, obvious stuff, you know, niche talent, so, you know, high value, low scarcity roles. But I think things like, you know, pitching, you know, like, you know, objection handling are absolutely key, you know. So we did a cool thing at Red Hat last year. We gamified it. So we had
Yeah.
teams in North America, teams in EMEA, teams in APAC. We put them into different teams, different cross-functional, and we got to build decks about, you know, how to pitch. We gave them a load of content, you know, about, you know, obviously solutions, competitors, and we played off against each other with a perfect pitch. Then we rolled it up globally, and we got our global head of our tech sales to come in and score them, and, you know, people from HR to come in, and it was amazing, you know, like people loved it. They collaborated around it. They, you know, it was fun for them, you know, but at the end of it, like Holland and her team, our branding and attraction team, just had this huge amount of content where they could build and take things away, you know, and have the perfect pitch. So stuff like that, I think is really cool. So I guess, you know, when you're at that 2.0 level, you know, people are now coming, and I don't know why I'm using the name Karen, but, you know, Karen's an amazing recruiter. You know, she's doing some great things. You know, I'm really impressed. And then I think you get onto sort of 3.0, and this is what I'd call moving more from the back office to the leadership table. You know, so things like, you know, data insights. You know, how do you provide, you know, real insights to the leadership team? You know, how do you story tell with that data? How do you have a narrative around that data? Things like that. I think your branding, yourself and a company, how to write great content, strategic partnerships, you know, super important. You know, how do you build relationships in HR, finance, marketing? You know, have that wide lens, I think, is absolutely key. And then relationship, you know, and influencing skills. And these are all the things, Adam, which no bots, you know, no AI is going to replace any of that stuff which I've just spoke about there. So these are high value skills. These are things which, you know, recruiters enjoy doing. It's, you know, it's developing them. You know, and if you take Karen as an example again, you know, now the HR, business, finance are coming saying, hey, Karen's amazing, you know, and she's getting promoted and loving her role. So that's, I think, that, you know, those stages, that's how I'd talk about it. And probably the last thing I'd say is that, you know, it's not, you know, learning isn't just about doing training, you know, it's you know, and I often look at it 70, 20, 10, you know, so 70% is experiential, so project-based, working with other teams, 20% learning off others, so, you know, coaching, mentoring, and then, you know, 10% in the classroom, you know, and that's, you know, that's for, I'm not saying that's the boring stuff, but, you know, that's the stuff which, you know, you have to really spend a lot of time and effort doing in the classroom training, but the rest of it, collaborate, you know, that's the best way to learn. So yeah, sorry, went on a little bit there, but there you go.
Not at all. You obviously enjoy the subject. So, I mean, it sounds to me like what you've set out here is almost like a kind of framework. Would that be fair? And like, is that the kind of thing that you do within your business? Do you help companies to create like this is what the foundational level looks like, and this is what the more advanced level looks like. You described it as 2.0 and 3.0. By the way, I'm absolutely sure you've worked with a Karen who was excellent, and that's why you're subliminally using that. I bet that's happened if you look deep into the past. But anyway, yeah, the like framework type thing.
Yeah, I think it's a, yeah, you know, the conceptual element of that, you know, you can talk through it in stages, but, you know, it's, companies are all different. Like, you know, you might meet a medium-sized organization which has recruiters all at TA 3.0 level, you know, they're just amazing, at senior. Within your own organization, you have, you know, the basic recruiters. And, you know, I think as well, I mean, you've got, you know, like it's a relevance of it as well, isn't it? Not just in, you know, our consulting model, but if you're looking at teams, you know, and you look at, say, APAC for a region, you know, you've got India, you've got Japan, you got Australia, you know, ASEAN, you know, all very different, working in very different markets. And so I think, you know, it's not all one size fits all, you know, around that. But I think when we're talking to organizations, we're saying about how you build out your team, TA teams, you know, how you becoming more complex, if you like, or how you're becoming more sophisticated. I think just that type of model works. 1.0, 2.0. Maybe someone can come up with a better framework. I don't know. We're only 2 months in, so forgive us.
No, I absolutely love that. Where can people? I've got another slightly tangential question in a minute, but let's just talk about your business. Where can people find you?
So it's Macramé Consulting. Obviously, I can share the websites. They can go to my LinkedIn page, so Kurt Bridge, and go through that. Obviously, Christian Lelou's as well. So you can find us that way. We're just starting to do a lot more branding. Obviously, coming on your show and things. So around that. But yeah, you find us, ping us after the show, whatever you need to know.
Yeah. Okay. Now, let's talk about the Asia Pacific talent acquisition kind of landscape. Like, I'm conscious I'm not saying to you here, like, what's going on in recruitment in Iberia or something. Like, Asia Pacific is very, very big, and I know it's very diverse as well. So, like, for those people listening to this who maybe don't have any experience in the region, though, like, just give us a couple of minutes of like characterization. What's it like to work there, and what's talent acquisition like there?
Yeah. So look, it's amazing, obviously diverse cultural area to region to live in, but complex at the same time. Your challenges are very different in every single market. So you think of a market like India, they post a job, there's thousands of applicants for it. You post a job in Japan, you might get 1 or 2 applicants for it. So
yeah,
the changes within, how you run the teams, how the complexity and what they're doing and how they're hiring is very different. So I think that's, how the language, culture, how teams are, more sophisticated in different areas. So I think leading within the APAC region it's exciting. It's for companies coming here as well. I think it's not US companies. It's, certainly over the last 12, 18 months, a lot of the startups are coming, getting a footprint in Asia. They're seeing that as a huge growth area for them, but to help them to address some of those cultural nuances, I think is really important. So that's all part of what we do as well, helping organizations with that. So another plug for our business.
Yeah, I mean, I think that if you're responsible for hiring for, say, Europe, that's pretty diverse, but it's nothing like hiring for Asia Pacific. From my experience of the region and working with people who have led talent acquisition teams there, there is so much ongoing learning needed to do it.
A lot of my calls with, obviously I work for US companies, is about educating around that, spend a lot of time. No, that doesn't fit here, and these are reasons why, so I love it.
Most of it, I'm sure most of it doesn't fit. Like there's very little overlap, I think, between talent acquisition in the US and talent acquisition in Asia Pacific.
100%.
Yeah. All right, Kurt, thanks so much for taking the time to join me. It's been really great to talk to you, and look forward to seeing you again. Maybe we'll get Christian on this as well. That would be
good. Please do. Yeah, he's a lot more interesting than me, a lot smarter, so get him on.
Well, this has been really great. So if that's true, I'm very much looking forward to that. Thanks, Kurt.
Appreciate it. Thanks, Adam. Appreciate it. See you soon. All the best.